Hello everyone, and welcome to part 13 of my Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon dramatic reading. Last we left off, what did we do last time? It's been a while, unfortunately. Last we left off, we had kind of a day off of sorts, where Shiki spent most of his day in the mansion, basically recovering from his wounds that he had received fighting Vlav. So that's where we left off, and he misses Arcueid a whole bunch because he hasn't seen her in a day, and he thinks that he'll never see her again. Obviously, we know there's a bunch of chapters left, so that's obviously not the case, but now. Let us proceed. Let me just do a quick sound test just to be sure, because usually I do those and I skipped it today, but I probably shouldn't. I skipped it. Oh, never mind. We sound good. I didn't realize that was there. No, shut up! I didn't realize that. Okay. Alright, we're good. Okay, alright. Now we're starting. I wake up, my thoughts still hazy. My arm feels a little heavy as I reach for my glasses. I must have developed a light fever. With that detached thought, I put them on. My vision returns to normal, but the mild dizziness persists. My symptoms resemble those of a cold, but this is one of those fevers... What? Okay, no, sorry. But this is one of those fevers peculiar to the morning. Like an engine that hasn't started up in a while, being warmed by combustion, this feeling will subside with time. Maybe he meant not peculiar to the morning? Or, I don't know. There's a knock at the door. After a short pause... Pardon the intrusion. With a bow, Hisui enters the room. Morning, Hisui. Thanks as always. Good morning, Shiki-sama. I see that you're already awake. Yeah, I slept like a log last night. I'll head down to the dining room as soon as I've gotten dressed. Can you let Kohaku-san know, since I have a light fever, I'd like a smaller portion today? Understood. Do you require a thermometer? No, I don't. It's just your average low-grade fever. In that case, your change of clothes is over here. I will wait for you in the dining room. Hisui bows and leaves the room. Perhaps it's just me, but her bow didn't seem as sharp as usual. I wonder if she's worried about me. However, this kind of thing really does happen all the time. I appreciate the concern, but it's nothing to make a fuss over. If you're going to fret about something, it should be... a wound like that. One you can instantly tell is serious. But man... but man... To think she really used duct tape for that. Just looking at it made my blood run cold. Next time I see her, I'll... I cut myself short before I can finish my sentence. There is no next time. We'll never see each other again. You couldn't convince me to get involved with that walking calamity of a woman again. Not for all the money in the world. That's right. I decided that would be for the best. I digest that undeniable fact. It's Monday. The beginning of the week. A good chance to start fresh. Having washed my face and dressed myself, I enter the living room. Akiha is sitting on the sofa. The clock has only just struck 7, but she seems to have already finished her breakfast and is now gracefully enjoying a cup of tea. Oh, good morning, Nissan. You're up early today. Akiha seems to be in a good mood. I wonder if it's because she's so pleased to see me up and about so early. Good morning. You seem to be up early as well, as per usual. And then, I suddenly feel lightheaded, so I pinch the bridge of my nose. Even then, the dizziness won't go away. My body temperature rises, so much so that I even start to think that something's wrong. Nissan? I hear the faint rustling of clothes and the sound of approaching footsteps. Is something wrong? Your face is red. Do you have a fever? Oh, well, it's true that I have a fever, but... Akiha moves up close to me and peers into my face from below. That's odd. For some reason, when I look at her, it feels like my dizziness gets even more intense. It seems you have a bit of a fever. Did you make sure to use your blanket last night? I'm sure this is simply the result of the change in scenery, throwing your health a little off balance. But let's just check to be on the safe side. Please wait here, Nissan. I will call Kohaku over right away, and we will take your temperature before you have breakfast. Akiha turns her gaze to the lobby. She must be planning to go and call for Kohaku-san, who's currently preparing breakfast in the kitchen. I take this opportunity to avert my gaze from Akiha. As I suspected, that was all it took to alleviate my dizziness. It's okay, Akiha. You don't need to call Kohaku-san. I simply wasn't feeling well because I just woke up, so you don't need to be so worried. If you're not feeling well, then that's all the more reason to not leave you alone. What are you going to do if you catch a cold? Even a mild illness can pose a serious threat to your health. Your natural immunity and resilience are well below that of an average person, after all. Exasperated, Akiha places her hand on my forehead. The sudden cool touch of her delicate palm sends a shiver down the back of my neck. For an instant, my breathing stops completely. Akiha's right. There is something wrong with me like this morning. Let me try that again. Akiha's right. There is something wrong with me this morning. I don't understand why, but every single move she makes goes right to my head. Just watching her is enough to make my body temperature rise. If I were to touch her directly, it'd probably make me so dizzy that I'd collapse. Nissan? You seem to be running quite a high temperature. I feel Akiha's voice echoing, not in my ears, but directly inside my brain. It was as if her beautiful black hair and her pale porcelain skin had turned into heat and were flowing directly into my head. This is bad. This feeling will pass. My body's just a little unstable as a result of all the fatigue it's accumulated. But what I need to do right now, before I do something unthinkable in front of Akiha, is... I just remembered something urgent. I brush off her hand and run like the wind. Shiki-sama, preparations for breakfast will still take another 5 minutes or so. Really? Thanks. Where's my bag? If you're looking for your bag, it's right here. Flawless preparation. That's Hisui for you. I thank Hisui and take my bag from her. I'm off. I'll see myself out. Stop right there! Where do you think you're going with a fever like that, Nissan? First and foremost, listening to your little sister and not running in the corridors of are the rules of this household. Settle down and have your temperature checked in the living room at once. Akiha is waiting for me in the lobby. She must have come to try and stop me. However, given that she's following her own rule about not running in the corridors, it seems she's only just made it here from the living room. My bad. I'll make sure to follow the rules next time. My fever's gone down, so I'm headed to school. I'll sort something out for breakfast myself, so if you could just look the other way this morning, that'd be great. What do you mean you'll sort something out? Wait, Nisan! Hold on, what did you just say? A rule you'll follow next time can hardly be called a rule at all. As though fleeing Akiha's reprimands, I run through the entryway toward the front door of the mansion. In my heart, I clasp my hands together in silent prayer and apologize. I appreciate that she's worried about my health, but there's no way I could say something like, well, the truth is just looking at you is almost enough to make me pass out. I can't even begin to imagine the retaliation that would be in store for me if I had. Phew. After taking a deep breath, I'm finally able to calm down. I should be safe now that I've put this much distance between us. Akiha isn't child enough to announce I'm going to school too and then chase after her older brother as he legs it. Oh, nice to hear, man. But it really is typical of Akiha to be upset about the rules of all things. Remembering what she said earlier brings a wry smile to my lips. Even though she's my sister, to this day I still can't say for sure whether her emotional boiling point is high or low. I guess I should stop by a convenience store. I don't have a lot of money in my wallet, but I should at least get something light to eat. I resent the fact that I actually have an appetite, today of all days. Normally I wouldn't mind skipping breakfast, but I'm pretty hungry this morning, so I've got to suck it up. I'll pick up some stuffed bread. That should be enough to tide me over until lunchtime. Only a few minutes have passed since I stopped by the convenience store. It's about half an hour earlier than I'd usually be going to school. There aren't many students visible on the sidewalk. In about 10 minutes, the main gate will be crowded with students, but for now, there are only 2 or 3 of them, myself included. Unlike that time, there's no sign of the unbelievably beautiful woman sitting on the guardrail, waiting for someone. In the schoolyard, the sports clubs are in the middle of the morning practices. With a sidelong glance in their direction, I head towards the entrance. I like moving my body. It makes me feel alive. However, I wasn't able to join any clubs. Because I have chronic anemia, there's a chance I'd let the rest of the team down when it counts. Plus, my doctor also strongly insists that I refrain from overexerting myself. My freshman year, there were a couple of clubs that offered to let me join. Whenever they did, I always turned them down by saying, maybe next time. And each time I felt an indescribable sense of estrangement. How's it going on this Halloween month? It's been very busy. And so, here we are. I suppose I've been avoiding getting involved with them in any way, operating according to some sort of subconscious self-defense mechanism. I put a stop to my sentimental musings, silently cheering on my kindred spirits in the sports clubs as they give it their all. I continue toward the main school building. Yes! Oh, what have we here? Good morning, Shiki-kun. Aren't you a little early? Yeah. I got the time a little mixed up. Good morning, Noelle-sensei. On my way to the classroom, I bump into Noelle-sensei. She seems pretty shocked to see me. I suppose she wasn't expecting to run into anyone here at this hour, either. So you lost track of time, but instead of showing up late, you ended up coming to school too early. That's your style, right? The diligent type. You're still young, though. Surely it wouldn't hurt to take things a little easier while you can. I'm taking it easy, believe me. It's not like I love studying or anything. While I have you here, about my, unexcused absence last Friday. Oh, that. Relax. I didn't inform your family about it. It's totally normal to boycott a day every once in a while. Besides, Shiki-kun, it's more convenient for you this way, right? With a suggestive chuckle, Noelle-sensei says something rather out of character for a teacher. That helped me out. Or rather, I think it saved me. Akiha would have been significantly angrier at me if she discovered I was absent on Friday. I get the feeling that Noelle-sensei's education policy is just a tad too lenient. Oh, Shiki-kun, you're such a wet blanket. It's not like I'm not serious. It's just that I respect my students' independence. It's frozen, hold on. There we go. I mean, all of you are so young and delicious looking. I think it's only natural you'd want to live a life on the edge and go fool around for a day or two. No, it's not like that. I was just going out and messing around. It wasn't going out and messing around or anything. Just kidding. It's just a joke. I know. It's the usual anemia, right? An honest boy like you would never go around playing with fire like that. So, is your body doing okay? Does it still hurt anywhere? She really had me worried there. In truth, Noelle-sensei's joke hit the nail right on the head, but I'm not about to tell her that. My anemia? Oh, I'm in really good shape this morning. I see. That's great. Then from today onward, you can go back to your carefree student life. By the way, about your condition, how long have you had it? Were you born with it? No, I wasn't born with it. I was involved in an accident when I was little. And I've had it ever since. I see. That's very unfortunate. So that's why you don't exercise and have such a small appetite. So, what was it like? Excuse me? I couldn't help but raise my voice at her cryptic question. As if licking her lipstick-laden lips with her tongue, Noelle-sensei says, Like I said, I'm asking you what kind of accident it was. It was the sort of injury that leaves your body all strange, right? It must have been incredibly painful, right? So terrifying that you wanted to scream? Almost as if you died for a moment before being born again? An indescribable chill runs through me. Not in reaction to Noelle-sensei's insensitive remarks. She's just got an insatiable curiosity. Or perhaps more accurately, I should say that she has an inability to read the room. That much has been clear since she started here. What gave me pause is that I realized I don't actually remember the details of the accident at all. It was a normal accident. I'm fine now. It wasn't such a big deal. It's almost time for class, so if you'll excuse me. I bow to Noelle-sensei and walk past her. Shiki-kun. I turn around in response to my name being called. If you're feeling well, then do your best to keep things under control moving forward. It's in your best interest not to take any more days off. With something like a wink, The returnee from France turns her head and heads toward the staff room. I thought I'd be the first to arrive, but several of my classmates are already in the classroom. You're early, Tohno. What happened on Friday? Morning. I was sick on Friday. What about you? Is morning practice over already? Don't get me started. Both last night and this morning, we got told to wrap it up early and be more concerned about our own safety. We just switched team captains, too. How's the new guy supposed to take charge under these conditions? It's nuts, right? It had looked like everything was business as usual for the athletic clubs, but I suppose even they have been affected by the vampire incident. Well, they just need to wait it out for a little while. The incident will soon fade away and club activities will return to normal. "5 minutes until homeroom." Excuse me. As I sit here, reflecting on how lovely it is that the day's classes are about to begin without incident. Oh. Yoo-hoo, slacker! Good morning! A voice calls out from behind, ruining my morning. Yo, delinquent-kun! Nice absence on Friday! Thanks to that, this morning is going to be even more energetic? Oh no, fuck! That's his whole line. I'm sorry, I fucked it up. Alright, take 2. Thanks to that, this morning is gonna be even more energetic? What? Weren't you asleep for the whole weekend or something? I wasn't in bed the whole weekend. I'm not that much of an invalid. I was a little under the weather on Friday, but I started feeling better after I got home. It didn't feel worth it to go all the way back to school, so I took the day off instead. Seriously? I can't believe it only took 3 days for the listless, laid-back lifestyle of that opulent mansion to turn you into an aristocrat. Man, as usual, nothing bothers you, huh? Look at Mr. Adaptable over here, with his wherever I lay my hat is home attitude. I'm not jealous at all, no sir. Arihiko's bluff is a sight to behold. We could all stand to learn a thing or two from his rebellious spirit. For the record, I'm not used to it at all. Besides, you haven't even seen how huge that house is. Huh? Arihiko, you know about the Tohno mansion? Nope, not a thing. I mean, it's on the top of the hill, and it's surrounded by walls and trees, right? Without a way to get inside the grounds, there's no way I can get a glimpse of the mansion itself. I gotta say, the voyeuristic side of me does want to see it. But I mean, your house's security or whatever is amazing, right? Like I would know. Wait. I think Keiko-san told me that there's actually a handful of burglaries each year, though for some reason, the police never seem to be in a rush to show up. Have you really not heard anything about burglars making it into the mansion up on the... Wait, who's Keiko? Isn't Keiko Arima? Who's talking right now? Fuck, I'm so confused. Okay, that's Arihiko. Dude, that's... If you got multiple burglars breaking in every year, and the police aren't showing up, isn't that pretty bad? Is your house like an antlion pit or something? How do you figure? The burglars are getting caught before the police even have a chance to show up. I'd call that pretty good security, not bad. No, that's my point. The burglars don't make it out again, do they? Oh, I get it. If that's the case, then that'd be why no rumors have spread. We nod gravely to each other. We were terrified to think any deeper on the topic, so we both do our best to change the subject. Oh yeah, did you see the scene left by the incident on Saturday? That big fire in the north gate of the station. I heard the outbreak started underground. No, I haven't seen it yet. I've heard a bit about it. though. I've heard a bit about it, though. God. Oh, kill me. Look, there's the department store in front of the north gate they were about to remodel, right? The park that was in front of that is totally caved in. Just absolutely wrecked. It's probably going to take them like a year to fully rebuild it. But hey, it's not all bad news. Now that there are security guards and TV news crews crawling all over the place, those idiots at the north gate have gone into hiding. Is that so? Oh, what about the hotel at, Kuramibashi Station? The hotel at Kuramibashi? Oh, you mean that dome hotel? Oh, that's right. There was a fire there as well. The fallout from the one at the north gate was so much bigger, I totally forgot about that. I can't blame Arihiko for his lack of discretion. Even though so many people burned to death in that incident, to Arihiko, it's just a story from the next town over. Thanks to the constant stream of news we're subject to this day and age, no matter how tragic an event is, it will always be eclipsed by the next lurid news story and pushed out of the public consciousness. But still, it doesn't make it any less disturbing. Anyway, what's happening on your end? In spite of your anemia, I don't think I've seen you take a single day off since middle school. Though, I've seen you pull the stunt of going home right after showing up a couple times. Yeah, it was something along those lines. I made it about as far as the intersection, but then I started feeling sick, so I just went back home. You and Yumizuka have been misbehaving lately, haven't you? I can't deny that my behavior's been less than perfect lately, but what's the deal with Yumizuka-san? She's been absent since Thursday. She didn't show up this morning either. She's always been an honor student, but maybe she was sick of sitting in Tenpai. Though, she can't win now that she's in, Furiten. I don't know what anyone's talking about. Arihiko's analogies are unique, shall we say. Oops, well, that's it for me. Farewell. Study hard and make up for all the things you missed on Friday. Arihiko cheerfully leaves the classroom. He must be going to hide in the infirmary or something. It seems like today it's his turn to skip class. The minute the bell rings for lunch, this degenerate reappears, yawning as though he's only just woken up. Whew, that was a great nap. Tohno, let's get a bite to eat. What a guy. I've got a hunch that the only three things bouncing around in that skull of his are sleep, food, and sex. Sure, I'm obviously ready to eat. But are you really okay with that? Me being your lunch date, that is? I thought you were dead set on getting Senpai to accompany you. Huh? Lunch with Senpai? Arihiko frowns, his expression souring. Looks like Senpai gave him the cold shoulder again today. I go and get lunch with Arihiko. Having slept his fill in the infirmary, looking up the area in front of Soya Station. doesn't seem to be anything new. He's now hard at work hunting for information, mobile phone in hand. It's like they say, trailing behind society by even 4 hours can prove fatal. It could also just be a case of internet addiction, but it's Arihiko we're talking about. He's a different breed from other students. Keeping up to date with what happened at Soya Station isn't just Arihiko amusing himself with other people's affairs. He's earnestly checking for anything that will give him an edge when it comes to surviving the nighttime world of the business district. Looks like there's been another garden variety cash register robbery. The shop clerk got stabbed in the gut. Looks like the perp was an alcoholic. Yikes, that's gotta hurt. There's no reasoning with a drunk, is there? I guess shopping online really is the safest way to play it. Arihiko demolishes his meal, browsing his phone with his other hand all the while. The tradition of a father reading the newspaper during mealtime has completely transformed into this modern-day equivalent right in front of me. No. Leaving that modern-day critique aside, Arihiko, is reading about this sort of news during lunch really that much fun? It's not fun at all. But for the sake of my foolish friend who takes no interest in the outside world, I've got no choice but to inform him of the dangers of society. Are you hearing all this, Tohno-kun? The North Gate collapsed, a drunkard stabbed someone, and an indiscriminate serial killer's on the loose. It's not like we're completely unaffected by this stuff, you know. You're right, though. That string of serial killings is over now. I'll grant you the incident at the North Gate, but apart from that, things are the same as they always were. Really? They caught the serial killer? Well, they didn't exactly catch him, but the culprit is no longer of this world. That's why there aren't any news stories with vulgar headlines about modern-day vampires, nor are there people being meaninglessly murdered by them. In any case, those kinds of silly incidents won't happen again. And there won't be any more victims. City's back to normal now. I don't know. I think there's gonna be more victims, Tohno. No, there won't. Well, what makes you so sure, anyway? I mean, look, the news just reported that the 9th victim was discovered this morning. Arihiko shows me the screen of his phone. Huh? I can't believe my eyes. It's just as he said. There, on a news aggregator website, under a heading consisting of a bird's eye view of the Soya Station North Gate, is new information regarding the vampire serial killings. You've got to be kidding. Isn't this around the back of the theater we always go to? Hold on, let me see that again. I borrow the phone from Arihiko. This isn't some troll spreading misinformation, nor is it unsubstantiated speculation. The screen clearly shows an official statement from the police, announcing that the serial killer's 9th victim had been discovered last night. No way. I'm at a loss for words. That guy, Vlav, he's dead. I killed him with my own 2 hands. So then why are corpses with their blood sucked to dry still appearing? Still, a modern-day vampire, huh? Although I guess I wouldn't mind having my blood sucked if the vampire was a cute older woman. A beautiful vampire? My spine freezes at Arihiko's casual remark. I wouldn't mind having my blood sucked if the vampire was a beautiful woman. I can't take these playful words as a mere joke. The incident isn't over yet. The appearance of new victims proves that the vampire is still alive and well. Excuse me just a second. There we go. A simple process of elimination is all that's needed. Vlav is gone. That means only one other remaining the only other remaining vampire is... With classes over, the school day has come to a close. Yet, here I'm wondering where that time went. I was so caught up in all the dark thoughts swirling around in my head that I've only now noticed the fact that I'm alone in the classroom. The serial killer. Still out there? By all rights, those words shouldn't even warrant a second thought. But I recall her saying something. I've never killed a human being. I can't bring myself to believe she was lying. Perhaps the news got it wrong. Or maybe... The only one who knows for sure is Arcueid herself. If I can track her down and see her once more, I'm sure everything will be cleared up. But even I don't understand why I want to. Those killings are no longer of any concern. My life returned to normal the moment I settled the score with Vlav. I fulfilled my duty. I must have. That's why there's no reason to go out of my way to set foot into such an abnormal world. I should just carry on as normal, pretend nothing happened, and go home without thinking about any more of this. Giving up and going home. As choices go, that's definitely the runner-up. But that's because a long time ago, someone taught me the #1 thing to do in a situation like this. Life is full of pitfalls for every human being. But I know you've got what it takes to pull through. So come on, show some resolve. That's right. There's no way I can just sit back and watch. Those words saved me. I lived my life by those words. That's why I can't just stand back and turn a blind eye. This case is far from over. Having already gotten mixed up in it once, it seems I'm now fated to see this troublesome matter all the way through to the bitter end. I leave the school grounds. I don't have much of a lead, but I do still have the apartment key she entrusted me with. I'll stand there first and see what I can find. She's not here. The apartment is just as I remember it, but Arcueid is nowhere to be found. She's not here, but I can at least sense a trace of her presence in this room. I feel a wave of relief pass over me at this assurance that she hasn't vanished into thin air. That's fine. I didn't think finding her was going to be that easy. Alright, time to buckle up and get moving. I could wait here, but there's no guarantee she's coming back. I've no choice but to go out into the city and search for her at random, just like the time I first met her. As the sun sets, the city dons its evening visage. I searched all over the most likely areas, but found neither hide nor hair of Arcueid. What's with that woman? When I'm not looking for her, she wanders right by me. But at a time like this, I can't spot her anywhere. What should I do? The night has just begun. I should... Okay. Not give up and keep searching the city. Return to the mansion. Okay, so this is a choice from the original one, and we know for a fact because we did this and died. So we're gonna return to the mansion. You won't fool me a second time, goddammit. It's currently 7 o'clock. This road doesn't get much traffic to begin with, but after night falls, it's utterly devoid of any signs of life, and the whole area is as silent as the grave. I thought about pressing the buzzer and having someone unlock the gate for me, but it's currently right before dinner time. Both Kohaku and Hisui are probably in the kitchen right now, and I wouldn't want to get in the way of their work. Using my key card, I go through the side door next to the gate. And then, the moment I arrive at the entrance, I remember the heated exchange from this morning. I wonder if Aki is still mad at me for rushing out of the mansion. Of course she isn't, she's not that childish. Of course she is, she's not that mature. Just in case. She's probably not that mad, it's whatever. Well, she isn't a kid after all. Surely she's calmed down by now, right? She'd yelled at me earlier because I'd been running in the hallway, and also had refused to let her take my temperature. There's no way either of those actions were bad enough that she'd still be holding a grudge. I can't explain the situation, but if I show repentance in front of Akiha, that ought to be enough to placate her. That's right. She may be somewhat strict, but she'll come to understand if I talk to her. First, I'll let her know I'm back. After that, I'll use the time between now and lights out to come up with a plan to find Arcueid. Then, when the time comes, I'll slip out of the mansion and head back into the city. I'm home! Doing my best to sound carefree, I enter the lobby. Huh? I can hear voices coming from the living room. I wonder who it could be. It's just before dinner. I wouldn't have expected to hear anyone chatting there at this hour. Kohaku-san should be in the kitchen, and I don't think Hisui's the type to strike up a conversation with Akiha. I wonder if Akiha's drinking tea with Kohaku-san or something. The other possibility is that there's a guest over. I start to head over to see what's going on, but... right as I do, Hisui comes out in front of the living room. She must have come to greet me after hearing my voice, but... is it just me, or is her expression gloomier than usual? I'm back, Hisui. Sorry for being late. Uh-oh. Hisui stares at me vacantly. She doesn't even respond with her usual welcome back. Did something happen? I might be imagining it, but you look a little... oh, sorry. I thought I saw a quote there. I might be imagining it, but you look a little upset. There is a visitor. Oh, no! I forgot about this scene. There is a visitor for you. She's been waiting in the living room for quite some time, so please, make your way over to her at once. A visitor for me? Hisui nods affirmatively. That's odd. I can't think of anyone that would drop by to see me. Arihiko's the only person that knows where I moved. And it's not like I met anyone new recently. No. Hang on. I have an incredibly bad feeling about this. Hisui, this visitor, what are they like? She's a beautiful lady with blonde hair. What? Hisui's description was straight to the point. Instinctively, My body breaks into a run as I race for the devil's living room, as fast as my legs will carry me. What the hell is going on here? I throw the door wide and burst into the room. Alas, it's already too late. I'm greeted by the latest plot twist in my character development. Another situation beyond my control that promises to upend my world all over again. Look who it is. Welcome back, Nissan. I see you're late again this evening, as expected. Oh, you're finally here, you rascal. Not only do you make your little sister wait, but me as well. You really are quite the tyrant. Both of them are looking at me, but their expressions are like night and day. This feeling. I know this feeling. It's the sort of thing that shows up in a lot of films. The suffocating, heart-rending desperation of a soldier with a gun to the back of their head, being told to beg for their life. I don't think I'm going to be able to talk my way out of this one. Of all the things that could have happened, Arcueid and Akiha have come face to face. Arcueid is standing there, placidly, while Akiha sits on the sofa looking similarly composed. But under the surface, while Arcueid's calm demeanor is just a natural consequence of her being an airhead, Akiha's is simply a veneer over her obvious hostility towards Arcueid. Akiha glances toward me. What's the matter, Nissan? Don't just stand in the doorway like that. Why don't you come over here and take a seat? Absolutely not. I have a feeling that I'd end up with a knife stuck in me the second I get within range of the sofa. There's no way I'm going anywhere near it. I'm good here, thanks. More importantly, Akiha, this person here is, well, how do I explain this to her? I can't just pass her off as a classmate. And I get the feeling that saying I met her on the street would only make things worse. Well, go on. Akiha pierces me with her unforgiving gaze. Fine. We're probably past the point where anything I say can make a difference. But if I want to make sure nobody gets hurt, and, of course, that my own peace isn't threatened, I've no choice but to come up with some type of explanation. I've got to come up with an explanation. But before I can get to that, under what pretense did this vampire, happily standing there with a grin on her face, as though this is all no concern of hers, manage to make her way into the mansion in the first place? I find it pretty hard to believe that Akiha would invite a stranger into the living room. Before that, can I ask something? This person, what did she say she came for? Arcueid tilts her head, perplexed. Is she not a friend of yours? That's how she introduced herself. Yeah, that's right. A friend. Friend. I see. In that case, I would be overjoyed if you could formally introduce me to her. If she's one of Nissan's friends, then I can hardly turn her away at the door, can I? Well, about that, Akiha-san. My words devolve into a mumble. A friend, you say? Perhaps having grown tired of being ignored, Arcueid forces her way into the siblings' squabble Akiha and I are having. To think that that's all I am to you, even after you did such terrible things. My body still hurts, you know. Jesus Christ. What? I feel faint. Oh, so this is what people mean by vertigo. This feeling of drunkenness, of being forcibly torn adrift from reality. I can't bear it. What do you mean by that? Are you implying that my brother has caused you harm physically? Or perhaps mentally? I don't mean to be rude, but are you aware of how unbelievable that claim of yours is? Yeah, totally. But relax. It does- Oh, hold on. I'm getting a phone call. Give me just a second. Yeah, totally. But relax. It doesn't bother me anymore. He paid me back with his body after all. Anyway, don't mind me. I only came here to grab Shiki. We'll be off before you know it. Isn't that right, Shiki? This is bad. If I let this woman keep talking, it'll be the end of me. Well, laughing in frantic desperation, I run over to Arcueid and forcibly grab her by the arm. Geez, Shiki, what's gotten into you? I can't afford to sit here and listen to her complaints. I rush out of the living room, dragging Arcueid along after me, and leaving the dumbfounded Akiha in my wake. Hisui's waiting by the lobby. I wonder what's going through her mind as she watches me rush by with Arcueid in tow. Thinking about it makes me just feel like a pit is opening up in my stomach. So I'll just put it out of my mind for the time being. Are you heading out, Shiki-sama? Against my better judgment. I know I'm asking for a lot, and I'm incredibly sorry. But please leave the front door unlocked for me. As you wish. Please take good care of yourself. As Hisui bows courteously, I sprint past her and out of the mansion, making my escape. That hurt! Suddenly dragging me outside like that. Have you lost your mind? That has to be the least self-aware complaint of all time. Have I lost my mind? What are you trying to pull here? Waltzing up in front of the mansion like that isn't exactly sane behavior. Don't tell me you're intentionally trying to ruin my life, you stupid woman. Stupid woman? Are you trying to make fun of me? I'm just calling an idiot. That's all there is to it, you moron. If you have any objections, then let's hear them. I'm all ears. What? I've hit my boiling point. I've never been in such an inexplicable predicament before. I'm not going to be able to calm down without giving her a piece of my mind. What's the big deal? I just came here to see you. I don't think I did anything that justifies getting so worked up. You just came to see me. Arcueid, are you being serious right now? Yeah, I am. What about it? Besides, there weren't any problems. I didn't use my mystic eyes. I approached them just like a normal human would. I even kept quiet about your eyes and the fact that I'm a vampire in front of your sister, since I know that's important to you. That much I know without being told. Even someone like you has enough common sense to not bring that up. You really are a mystery. In that case, what are you so upset about? It's because of how little you think things through. Do you need me to spell it out for you? Think about your surroundings and who might be watching. Have some self-awareness about your appearance. I'm begging you, please try to be a little more discreet. You draw too much attention to yourself just by existing. Phew. I feel refreshed now that I've gotten everything off my chest. Are those real cat ears, or is she just doing is that just like a anime exaggeration? Because I've been led to believe that she could just do that, right? She can make a marker board appear out of nowhere, so maybe she could just make cat ears do that as well. I don't know. Arcueid, on the contrary, looks like she has a lot she wants to say. Like an indignant cat, she glares at me with a sullen scowl on her face. What's up with you, mouthing off to me like that? Besides, what do you mean I stand out just by existing? My outward appearance is no different from that of a human being, right? A beauty like you will stand out no matter what. It's got nothing to do with whether or not you're human. I answer her clearly. Perhaps because my reply left little room for debate, Arcueid seems to have accepted that without a fuss. Well, I'll admit I went too far. Have never been caught in the ring between two, Oh no, that's the other one talking. Well, I'll admit I went too far. I've never been caught in the ring between two heavyweights like that before, so I got a little flustered. It's fine. Besides, it seems I'm the one at fault here. Arcueid nods rather obediently. Now that that's said and done, I start to feel a little guilty about thinking that she had more sinister, ulterior motives. So, why did you come all the way here? Actually, I had something I wanted to ask you as well, so I guess this is a blessing in disguise. Oh, really? I only stopped because I was wondering what you might be up to. I see. So, you were just curious. Next time, hide behind a tree when you come to spy on me. Do your best to make sure that nobody's able to spot you. If you hide so well that even I can't spot you, all the better. I feel somewhat tired all of a sudden. Well, this isn't the first time I've been jerked around as a result of her whims. At least she didn't let slip anything about the situation to Akiha. I suppose that in her own way, she's doing the best she can to respect my position. Anyway, there's something important I need to ask you. I won't be able to relax if we stick around here, though. Is it alright if we head somewhere else? Sure, but what's this all about? You'll know soon enough. The park should be pretty deserted by now. That might be our best spot. I call out to her, signaling our departure, and begin to walk. Tilting her head to the side, Arcueid obediently falls in line behind me. So, what did you want to talk about, Shiki? Vampires. You said this before, right? That the serial killings everyone's been in such a fuss over were the work of a vampire. Arcueid nods affirmatively. Then, did you know that the news this morning reported that another victim had been found? Apparently, they were murdered sometime last night and drained of their blood. Arcueid narrows her eyes. I feel a sudden tension. It's as though the solid ground I thought I'd been walking on was actually naught but a thin layer of ice. And now one wrong move could prove fatal. And? You're... I swallow nervously. Arcueid looks straight at me, pinning me down with her gaze. It was the sort of stare that made me feel as though she'd swoop down on me the instant I moved a muscle. But isn't it strange, Arcueid? Vlav is dead, so then why are these vampiric incidents still happening? I'm sure this isn't the case, but could it be that you... If that blood is on your hands, then I... You don't really believe that, do you? That wasn't me, it was the work of a different vampire. Arcueid's immediate and somewhat exasperated response quickly dispels the tension that settled over us. I hold back the inexplicable sense of joy that rises in my throat. It's too soon to be relieved. While I'm glad to hear that it was another vampire's doing, there's still something that doesn't add up. If that's the case, then does that mean that the vampires will keep coming, one after the other? Did a new vampire arrive right after Vlav? Nothing of the sort. Those incidents were the work of a single vampire from the very beginning. No new vampire has shown up to devour the city, Nor did Vlav have anything to do with the serial killings. You're saying Vlav was totally unrelated? What do you mean he had nothing to do with it? I mean exactly what I said. Jeez, you're so inattentive sometimes. It drives me mad. Are you listening? It's true that Vlav is a vampire, but he never sucked anyone's... But has he ever sucked anyone's blood? Oh, well, of course he did. That guy systematically burned all those people to a crisp and then... Ah, I get it now. Why didn't I spot such an obvious discrepancy? All the victims of the serial killer have been discovered with no injuries to their bodies, other than the fact that their blood was drained. But that's not what Vlav would do. That guy burns corpses to a crisp. It's true that he sucks blood, but that's not the main way he kills people. If you think about it, the people in the hotel weren't counted as victims in a murder case, but as casualties of a conflagration. Then, that means Vlav has no connection at all to the serial killings that have been happening in the city. Oh, hold on. Then who is behind these vampire killings? Who on earth would go out of the way to do that? Like I said, those killings were the work of a vampire other than Vlav. I came to the city in order to kill the vampire behind the murders. The reason behind Vlav coming here is, well, I'm no longer entirely sure. I was sure that he'd come here chasing after me, but that doesn't seem like enough of a reason. It seems like he wasn't in league with the Society of the Dead Apostles either. Well, enough of that. Vlav is already dead after all. At any rate, Vlav and the vampire lurking in the city are two different beings. He was genuinely nothing more than an unrelated third party. I never said that Vlav was my target, did I? Vlav may have considered me his target, but my attention has always been focused on the serial killer vampire that's still in the city. Excuse me? Shiki, I hate to ask, but have you really misunderstood something so incredibly simple? I gasp in shock. Unfortunately, she's right on the money. Because she said that killing vampires was her objective, I immediately jumped to the wrong conclusion, and assumed that she came here to take down Vlav. So, now what? Are you telling me that killing Vlav that night was completely meaningless? It wasn't meaningless at all. You were the one who fought in my place, right? Though, it wouldn't have been necessary if you hadn't killed me in the first place. Sorry about that. The strength drains from my body, and I feel like I'm about to fall to my knees. The battle that night was all for nothing. Even though we killed Vlav, it didn't solve anything. There's still a vampire in the city. For a brief moment, I find myself blaming Arcueid. This isn't good. My mind churns with a mixture of despondency and self-loathing. Sorry. I know it's annoying, but let me confirm one last time. So you're saying that Vlav is unrelated to the vampire murders, and the one that's been causing havoc in the city for the past month is a different vampire, right? Yep, that's exactly right. But that's a problem for me to deal with, so you don't have to worry about it. Leaving that aside, Arcueid looks up at me with a worryingly playful expression. What do you want? Just so you know, I really don't have time to play around. I can't get a handle on my feelings. Oh no, fuck. It's weird I keep missing the quote. I can't get a handle on my feelings. If she says anything weird now, I feel like my legs will simply give way. I just have a small question. It's about that time we took down Vlav. Back then, why 3 minutes? 3 minutes? What do you mean? Shiki, you said that you only had 3 minutes back then. I could never figure out why it was only 3. Listen, like I told you back then, that place was like being at the bottom of an ocean, right? That's why I said 3 minutes was the limit. Huh? You'd only last 3 minutes at the bottom of the ocean? Thank goodness. If I still had energy, If I still had any energy left, I'm sure my retort would have been instantaneous. Yeah, that's right. Unlike you, I happen to be human. So that's as much time as I can spend underwater. What the hell? Even I felt a bit chilly back then. Besides, I'd get bored if I had to spend hours at the bottom of the ocean as well. A bit chilly, you'd say. It was so bad that I thought I was going to die. What are you looking down for? Nothing, I was just feeling a little dizzy. You don't have to worry about it. No, I take it back. To be honest, even spending 3 minutes underwater is pushing it. Humans are frail, after all. So don't go lumping us in with someone as sturdy as you. If you want to have an endurance contest, then go do it with another vampire. At my wit's end, I shoot Arcueid away with my hand. Well, there's no use in me saying it now. At this point, I'm well aware just how much of a monster you are. Fine. The whole misunderstanding about Vlav was stupid on my part. But besides that, Arcueid, I managed to get my feelings under control and raise my head to resume the conversation, but... What is this face that she's making? Arcueid? You're such a bully, Shiki! That's right, I'm not human, am I? Pouting, Arcueid turns away and begins to walk at a brisk pace. Hey, wait a minute. Where do you think you're going? This has nothing to do with a human like you. Don't follow me! Arcueid must really be mad as she continues to walk away without looking back. That woman. What the hell does she think she's... Oh, let me try that again. That woman. Where the hell does she think she's going? Maybe I touched a nerve. In retrospect, maybe I was a bit too cruel. No, but I didn't say anything that bad. I didn't. Right? Though, seeing how upset she is, I feel like I'm the one at fault. Actually, it is completely my fault. I'm the worst. Oh, fine, I was wrong. I shouldn't have said that. Just stop. Stop right there. Flustered, I chased after her white back. I'm definitely not doing this because I feel guilty about making her upset. There's just something important I still need to discuss. Alright, we're gonna stop here. Oh, hold on, what time is it? Yeah, we're gonna stop here for now. Thank you for watching. If you're watching the VOD, thank you for making it this far. Midnaz, thank you for being in chat. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/BerserkChip, where I upload VODs to previous streams and other cool content. Follow my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/BerserkChip. That's BerserkChip with 2 P's because I forgot the password to my previous account. And follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/BerserkChip, where I post highlights of previous streams, schedule updates and other funny stuff, fighting game content, combos, whatever. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next time.